Hey everyone, welcome to Kicking with Kipes. I'm Kipes, and today is December 14th, 2024, and we have a almost full schedule of games tonight. There are two teams that aren't playing, but let's waste zero time and let's get into it. The first game on the schedule, the 11 o'clock game for us out in the West, it was the New Jersey Devils and the Chicago Blackhawks facing off in New Jersey, where New Jersey made a big comeback and won the game 4-1. The main highlights from this game was Dawson Mercer and Timo Meier all picking up a goal and an assist in this game. The New Jersey's Devils, like I just said, they scored four straight in the third period to win this game 4-1. Chicago got the lead early, but just couldn't hold on to it. Unfortunately, let the home crowd get into it and let the game just slip away from them. Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier also scored in this game. Jesper Bratt and Brett Pesce each had 2 assists for the Devils tonight. I guess I shouldn't say night. It's afternoon game in the East, afternoon game or morning game in the West, but they all had very good games in this one. The Devils, they improved to 20, 10, and 3 for the record for this season. The Blackhawks fall to 19, 19, and 2. It's not going good for Bedard and the Blackhawks this year again. They signed some players to big tickets in the summer, and it's just not going good for them so far. It was Jacob Markstrom versus Drew Commesso today. Commesso, he made a guest appearance in a game the other day in another loss for the Blackhawks. Commesso, he made 20 saves in tonight's game. Jason Dickinson was the only goal scorer for the Blackhawks today. They have also lost 7 of their last 8 games. Like I said, it's just not going good for them. Dickinson was the only goal scorer for the Blackhawks today in the second period. He picks up his 6th of the year. It was a bit of a fluke play, but a goal is a goal, like we've always been saying. He put the puck off the crossbar, bounced off of Luke Hughes, the defenseman, into the net. Tough break for little Hughes. It's just, yeah, it happens in games. There's nothing you can do about it except for move on and win the game, just like the Devils did. Bedard also had a couple very good chances to get on the board in this game, but just was not able to. One was in the third period when he hit the crossbar on the power play. The other was when, in the first minute of the game on a 2-on-1, he just could not put the puck home. Just unfortunate for Bedard. He scored in the last game, but he also just has not had a very good year, so up to date so far. Devils beat the Blackhawks 4-1 in New Jersey. The other early game that we had today was the LA Kings against the New York Rangers, where it was an absolute beatdown of the New York Rangers. Once again, they are on an absolute slump right now. It was 5-1 at Madison Square Garden. Those Ranger fans are probably so pissed off right now. This game was the definition of a team effort from the LA Kings. 5 different goal scorers for their 5 goals today. Adrian Kempe, Alex Turcotte, Quinton Byfield, and Warren Foegele each had a goal and an assist, while it was Philip Deneau who had the lone goal without any helpers in this game. Darcy Kemper stood tall in net tonight and helped the LA Kings improve to 18-9-3, and they have won 7 of their last 8 games, which is an absolutely amazing run that they are on. I think it was the last game that they played that was the one that they lost. So that minor little slip up is the only thing keeping them from a a perfect record. Igor Shesterkin, he just signed that huge deal for the Rangers, and it hasn't looked good for the Rangers since he has signed that deal, especially since he allowed 5 goals on 21 shots today. Jonathan Quick replaced him in the second period. He made 12 saves. Hedl was the only goal scorer for the Rangers, but yeah, tough sledding. They are only 15, 13, and 1, and 3 wins and 9 losses since the 21st of November. This record has them outside of the playoffs. I think they're tied with the Islanders and 1 or 2 points ahead of the Senators, who I talked about last night, saying I wouldn't be surprised they made the playoffs. They are extremely close to overtaking all these teams and making the playoffs. If the Rangers don't make the playoffs, I wonder how many heads will roll at Madison Square Gardens. That is an unacceptable thing to happen, especially with the team that they have. The Kings, they almost set a team record tonight. They scored 3 straight goals in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. That is, for those traveling away fans, they hardly had time to sit back down between all 3 goals. That is absolutely amazing. I would have loved to see my team do that at any point. Deneau's goal was the kicker for Shesterkin in this game. It was a shot from Brent Clark, a juicy rebound that went out to Deneau. Quick, like I mentioned earlier, he came in after that goal, replacing Shesterkin. He allowed 3 goals on 4 shots before getting yanked, and he was obviously and understandably extremely mad with his performance. He went to the bench, didn't even take his helmet off, didn't even put a hat on. He sat on the bench with his helmet on until the end of the period. If that isn't the definition of the mask of shame, I have no idea what is. Filipino was the only goal scorer for the Rangers today, just over halfway through the third, and that was about it for the Rangers in this one. Nothing really to report from them today. It was a bad day for the Rangers. Kings win 5-1 at Madison Square Garden, continuing the woes of the Rangers. In Minnesota this afternoon, it was the Kirill Kaprizov show. His absolutely amazing start to the season continues. He's knocking on that door right now of getting a huge contract in the upcoming offseason. Well, he's eligible for a new contract in the upcoming offseason, and if I were the Minnesota Wild, I would get him signed now because he's going to be worth even more in the next couple years. Kaprizov scores twice for the Minnesota Wild today as they beat the Philadelphia Flyers 4-1 in Minnesota, wearing absolutely gorgeous jerseys. They're the retros of the Minnesota North Stars from back in the day. Absolutely amazing jerseys. Matt Zuccarello and Jonas Brodin, they each get an assist. First games coming back from big injuries, each missing 13 and 8 games respectively for the Minnesota Wild. Matt Boldy and Marco Rossi also scored for the Wild today. Marc-Andre Fleury, he's drinking from the fountain of youth right now. He helps the Minnesota Wild improve the record to 26-4. One save in this game should be on, I don't see how it can't make the top 5, top 3 even save of the season contenders. It was an absolute robbery of Travis Konecny just sticking his glove out there, last second grasp, trying to get the puck, and boy oh boy did he ever. Absolutely amazing save. I will be watching that one for a very long time. This is just proving that not all flowers wilt and die, because he is having an absolutely amazing season at 6-1-1 during his final season of his career. Travis Sanheim was the only goal scorer for the Flyers in this one, who dropped to 14-13-1, ending their 2-game win streak. Samuel Urson, the goalie, he only made 19 saves today. Yeah, it was a tough go for the Philly Flyers in Minnesota today, but Minnesota's an absolutely awesome team this year. They are so hot right now. It's hard to beat a team like that. Kaprizov's second goal of the game was the empty netter, the ending of any hope for the Flyers to get back in this one. Wild win 4-1 against the Flyers in Minnesota. Fleury, absolutely amazing performance tonight. Moving on, we have the Oilers facing off against the Golden Knights in Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl, he extended his multi-point game streak to 5 games with a goal and 2 assists for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. He is on an absolute tear right now, but like I've said before, what do you expect from this man? He is an absolute maniac. Like, McDavid gets all the credit most of the time, and I know Draisaitl does too, but holy crap, this guy is so good, and he's arguably the best player in the world right now. I know McDavid, a lot of people are arguing on that, but just the streak that Draisaitl was on right now, it's just unbelievable. It ended up being 6-3 for the Oilers. 6 different individual goal scorers in this game, just like the last game against Minnesota where they absolutely dumped on the Wild. They had 7 individual goal scorers for that game. So it's just consistency from players. It's a full team effort from the Oilers right now, and it's exactly what they need. They have all these superstars, and everybody on this team is pulling together to get these wins for the Oilers. The 2 standout players for the Oilers, I guess you could say, was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Connor Brown, each getting a goal and an assist. The other goal scorers for the Oilers were Hyman, downtown Connor Brown, Draisaitl, Skinner, and Perry. You got some depth scoring in there. You got some superstar scoring in there. And yeah, like I said a couple seconds ago, absolute team game from the Oilers tonight. It was Stuart Skinner versus Adin Hill tonight, with Skinner picking up the win. He made 39 saves for the Oilers, who improved their record to 18-10-2, and they have won 8 of their past 9 games. And I feel like I'm a broken record right now. They're on an absolute tear right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now. Noah Hanifin, former Calgary Flame, he had a very good game. He picked up 2 assists, but he did not get a goal. Howden, Barbashev, and Olofsson are the goal scorers for the Golden Knights tonight. Adin Hill, he did make 28 saves along the way to this loss. He still let 6 goals in. That's a horrible game. I saw him smiling on the bench when he came off for the extra attacker, smiling, and I don't know what was going on. I'm not here to judge, but what were you doing laughing when you were coming off after allowing 6 goals? It just didn't make much sense to me because at the end of the day, the Golden Knights, they had won 4 straight trying to get a run going, which 4 games is a run, but trying to the Pacific is a very tight division as well, so they were trying to fight their spot against the Oilers too. And your goalie comes off and he's smiling and laughing with his teammates. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but maybe if someone out there proves me wrong and there was a reason for him to be laughing, maybe he tripped on his way to the bench and I missed it. I'd love to hear it. So Golden Knights lose to the Oilers in Edmonton 6-3. All right, so now, unfortunately, as a Leafs fan, I have to cover this game. It's wasn't pleasant for the Leafs tonight. They lose 4-2 against the Detroit Red Wings in Detroit. All those traveling fans coming from Canada, from Windsor, or wherever they came from, just did not get the performance that they were probably expecting in this one. Jeff Petrie, probably one of the last people on the Detroit Red Wings that you would think could score a goal tonight, scores twice. I'm dumbfounded. Like Petrie, yeah, he used to be a pretty reliable defenseman, but now he's kind of hidden away in Detroit. And yeah, of course, tonight scores twice against the Leafs. Moritz Seider and Lucas Raymond also scored for the Wings tonight. Raymond's goal was the empty netter, the nail in the coffin for the Red Wings, who got 3 of their 4 goals from defensemen tonight. So that's probably a bright spot for this Wings team, who have been struggling big time. They had lost 6 of 7 before this game. 6 of 7 losses for the Wings, and the Leafs found a way to lose this game. Why do the Leafs have such a good time making bad teams look and feel good? Ville Husso got the start for Detroit tonight, gets the win, makes 24 saves. The Wings improve to 12, 14, and 4. I heard somewhere, I haven't looked it up to confirm it, but I heard somewhere that this was Ville Husso's first win in almost a calendar year because of his injury last season, and then he hadn't been playing good. I think he even went down to the minors to Grand Rapids at some point in this season, so congrats to him. Probably a huge stepping stone for him in his career. Mitch Marner had 2 assists tonight and a disallowed goal. He was arguably the Leafs' best player tonight. His disallowed goal was offside. It was extremely close. Matthews, I think, was just half a second too quick. The Leafs now 18, 10, and 2. They finally lose their double-digit number. They had won 5 of 7, which, fine, you can win a game, but to the Wings, like, come on. Joseph Woll was in net for the Leafs tonight. He made a couple big saves. He made 22 saves tonight, so not horrible performance. I'll let him slide for the empty net goal, I guess. Austin Matthews was the Leafs' first goal scorer of the game tonight. He made it 1-1 at around the halfway point of the second period. A beautiful shot from Mitch Marner on the power play. It was a beautiful one-timer. Only players like Matthews, like Draisaitl, can make those shots go in. Absolute beautiful shot. Matthew Nice was the other goal scorer for the Leafs tonight, picking up his 11th. The part in this game where I kind of felt like the Leafs weren't going to be able to make the comeback was when Ville Husso stopped Marner on the breakaway. It was a beautiful save. Marner tried to go 5-hole, but he closed the doors just in time. And then the puck went the other way, and Marner ended up getting a penalty on the play. And I felt that was just that, I guess you could say, the TSN turning point in the third period where I just couldn't find the Leafs being able to come back. Husso had just, that was that confidence to get him over the edge to get him that win in this game. With Anthony Stolar still out for the foreseeable future for the Leafs, Dennis Hildeby gets the call up on an emergency basis tonight. He was the backup and most likely will be the starter tomorrow, against the Buffalo Sabres, another team that's really struggling right now. So let's hope that this game tomorrow, the Leafs won't be able to make a bad team look good. Let's hope this very good Leafs team will look very good. Wings beat the Leafs 4-2 in Detroit. Moving on to the Canadiens versus the Jets in Winnipeg tonight. The Jets beat the Canadiens 4-2. Standout players for the Winnipeg Jets, Kyle Connor and Gabriel Velarde, each having a goal and an assist in the big effort tonight. Adam Lowry and Vladislav Nemestikov also scoring for the Jets tonight. The Jets, they just keep on rolling with Connor Hellebuck in net. He made 26 saves, improving the Jets record to 22-9-1, having an absolutely amazing season. Still in the top 3 at the top of the table for the league. Absolutely amazing. I personally did not think that they were going to be able to keep this rolling for this season. I kudos to them, unfortunately. I know I've voiced my opinions about my feelings about the Jets, but you got to give credit where credit is due. Just to prove a point of how good they have been doing, they've earned a point in 5 of the last 6 games, 4-1-1 in those games. Absolutely, yeah, very good job. Oh, one other thing I should mention is Josh Morrissey picked up 2 assists in this game. Very solid performance from the defenseman who deservedly made Team Canada's roster for the Four Nations face-off. For the Montreal Canadiens, they did lose, but one bright spot for them tonight was their top draft pick, Lane Hutson, the defenseman from college. He absolute stud. He's an amazing skater. He just hasn't gotten the points to prove to the league why he was picked so high. He finally gets his first goal of his career tonight. Congratulations to him. It was too bad it was in a losing effort, but it's still probably an amazing feeling for the young kid. Sam Montembeault was in net for the Canadiens tonight. He made 23 saves, but the Canadiens have lost 3 of their last 4 games, so they're on a bit of a slide. I'm starting to kind of think that Martin St. Louis might be on the fence for a firing, maybe. I know his excuse will probably be that they're still young, they're still trying to work through this rebuild, but at the same time, they're not having a good season when they thought they were going to be able to take a step. Is that step firing Martin St. Louis? Hudson's goal, it was a very nice goal for his first of his career. It was in the first period with a wrist shot. That's kind of what his bread and butter was in college. His wrist shot from the left face-off circle. It beat Hellebuck glove side. Yeah, it was just a great shot. Congrats to Lane. Amazing accomplishment. The Jets beat the Habs 4-2 in Winnipeg on Saturday night. Moving on, we have the Capitals against the Sabres in Washington tonight, where the Washington Capitals win 4-2. For the Capitals, Tom Wilson, he continues to have a very good season. He scores twice. Chicken has a goal and an assist in this game. Dylan Strome scores his 10th of the season, which was ending up being the go-ahead goal in this game in the third period. The Capitals extend their point streak to 9 games with this 4-2 win tonight. They are having an absolutely amazing season, and they haven't had Ovechkin for a couple weeks now, and they're still doing this good. 8-0-1 in their past 9 games. Absolutely incredible without their top goal scorer, without the future #1 goal scorer in the history of the NHL. They have been very good this season. John Carlson also had 3 assists in this game. Very good night for him. John Carlson also had a very good game in this one, getting 3 assists. Logan Thompson made 19 saves on 21 shots. Pretty quiet night, but he gets the win. Jason Zucker and Yuri Kulich scores for the Sabres, who dropped to 11, 15, and 4. Absolutely horrible for the Sabres this season. They're 0-6-3 in their past 9 games. Yeah, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, he made 27 saves. I wouldn't put the blame on this one. His team is just hot garbage in front of him right now. Something has to change it. I have no idea what it was. Their GM was the wiener of the week, and I don't know what to do with this Buffalo Sabres team. I've listened to a couple podcasts as well, and they're having a hard time trying to figure out what to do with this Buffalo Sabres team. They can't fire the coach. This is his first season, I guess. He's a returning coach, but it's his first season returning for this team. Obviously, I don't know why they brought a coach that failed in the past back to try to fix it. Why do they think that a coach that they have previously fired will fix it? Capitals beat the Sabres in Washington 4-2. The next game tonight was the Ducks playing the Blue Jackets in Columbus. The Ducks win 4-3 in overtime. The winning goal in this one in overtime was from Alex Killorn, his second goal of the game. About 2 minutes left in overtime, I think it was. And the Ducks, they were on a big losing skid. They finally get their win under Jacob Trouba. I can stop calling him out for that one being the Trouba curse. It was a beautiful pass from Robbie Fabry in overtime to Killorn, who took it on the breakaway and scored. Star players for the Ducks tonight. Jackson McClone continues his pretty good start to the season, adding a goal and assist. Troy Terry had 2 assists. Killorn had 2 goals and an assist. No argument there. Best player for the Ducks tonight. The Ducks, their record improves to 11-14-4. They ended 0-4-1 skid. Not good at all. John Gibson having a great game, making 39 saves in this game. For the Blue Jackets, Kirill Marchenko, Cole Sillinger, and James Van Riemsdyk scores. Jet Greaves made 23 saves in the effort. Wasn't good enough. Blue Jackets fall to 12-13-5. Not very good season for the Blue Jackets, but I think we will all give them a little pass for what happened in the offseason with Johnny Gaudreau. According to me, they're outperforming what I was ever going to expect from this team. Nobody would have ever judge them for having an even worse record than they have. They came out of the gates actually really hot, and they're kind of faltering off a little bit, but nobody's judging here. The Ducks are also 0-1-2 in their past 3 games. In the first period, Mason McTavish scores. He gets his 100th career point in only his 176th game. He is quietly having a very good start to his career. I had no idea that he was doing that good. Only 76 games without a point. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually a very good accomplishment. It was kind of a freakish play. He gets the puck on the left-hand circle. He makes the rush towards the net, pushes it past Jet Greaves for the goal, but also absolutely barrel rolls into Jet Greaves, getting a penalty as well on the play for goaltender interference. I don't know if I've ever seen or heard of a player getting a goal, a point for his career, and also 2 penalty minutes against him in the same play. Absolutely hilarious. The Ducks end their losing streak against the Blue Jackets in Columbus on Saturday night, winning 4-3 in overtime. Moving on, we have the Penguins and the Senators facing off in the nation's capital tonight. The Senators end up winning 3-2 in overtime off of a Brady Tkachuk goal. Tkachuk's goal in overtime was very nice. He toe dragged Erik Karlsson in the slot, beating Tristan Jarry, kind of making Karlsson look like that old man that he actually is. Thomas Chabot also had a very good game in this one. Drake Batherson scores, continuing his very good start this season. I'm surprised that he didn't make Team Canada for the Four Nations faceoff. I digress. The Senators, they improved to 15-13-2, winning 3 games in a row for the first time all season, continuing to start getting hot, sniffing on the Rangers like I mentioned in the Rangers segment. The Rangers better be careful because the Senators, I feel like if they start getting hot, the pesky Sens could make a very strong push for the playoffs and kick the Rangers out. Last night, we talked about the Senators in the only game of the night. We're talking about how Allmark, will he be playing tonight? It turns out that he wasn't going to be playing tonight. Anton Forsberg was going to be getting the start tonight, but Forsberg either tweaked something in warmups or just before warmups. He couldn't play, so in comes Allmark, getting another win for Linus Allmark, making 26 saves. The Penguins' semi-hot streak comes to an end. They had won 6 of 8 up to this point. They dropped to 13, 14, and 5. Blake Lizotte and Chris Letang did score in this game. Letang scores, but then gets embarrassed in overtime by Tkachuk. Tristan Jarry, he makes 28 saves for the Penguins tonight. Pretty good game for him. Not good enough, obviously. The Penguins still struggling this season, trying to get momentum for anything in this season. One little scary note that happened in this game, their Penguins defenseman, Marcus Pettersson, left the game midway through the first period after taking a hit and just crashing into the boards very awkwardly. It did not look pretty. I have no idea where to even start guessing of what kind of injury it was. Hopefully, Pettersson feels better and is back for the Penguins because they don't need any more issues on that team. Senators win 3-2 in overtime off a Brady Tkachuk goal on Saturday night in the nation's capital. We move down to Texas where the Blues were playing the Dallas Stars in Cam Fowler's first game as a Blue. Cam Fowler traded to the Blues today for a second and a prospect. His trade was announced this morning and then was able to play tonight for the Blues. I love it. I love how a player can get traded and play for a different team within a night or so. It's absolutely amazing. Fowler had 1 shot and about 18 minutes of ice time in his debut for the Blues. Not a bad game. Good job getting in there quick, getting used to the way the team plays. It's always hard moving from a team that's absolutely stunk for a couple years and moving to a team that actually has a lot of talent. Not that Anaheim doesn't have a lot of talent, but it's a whole new system for Fowler to get used to as a defenseman. The Stars did end up winning this one in overtime from Matt Duchene. He scored 2.5 minutes into overtime, giving them the win. Jason Robertson also picks up his 7th of the year. He had a goal and an assist. Very good game for him. Jake Ottinger only made 15 saves. That means he only had 16 shots on net. The Blues could not get the puck through to the goalie, even trying to create some chaos. The Stars are now 18-11-0. Very good season that they're having so far. Jordan Kyrou was the lone goal scorer for the Blues tonight. He deflected off of former Leaf player Ilya Lyubushkin. Also after another former Leaf, Colin Blackwell, made an amazing block without having his stick. He slid on the ice, made an amazing block. It got deflected to Kyrou, who put it home past Ottinger. Kind of a sloppy play, but still a goal. Like we've been saying the past couple of videos, a goal is a goal no matter how you get it. The Blues, although have lost 3 of 4, bringing their record to 14, 14 and 3. Not great. You have lost more games than you've won, technically. Although you've gotten points in the other games, they're still losses. So not good for the Blues so far. Binnington, he made 35 saves in this game. He was very busy. Stars beat the Blues 2-1 in overtime in Texas. We go to Colorado where the Predators are playing the Avalanche. The Avalanche end up winning this one 5-2. Nathan MacKinnon scores 2 goals and has an assist. The East Coaster has 9 points in his last 3 games. 4 goals and 5 assists. Absolutely amazing run that he's on lately. This run actually started as soon as I acquired him from my friend in fantasy hockey. It was a 3-for-1 trade, but so far it's looking like I'm going to end up on the right side of that trade. Tonight also helped MacKinnon get to the 50-point plateau for the season. He has reached, I'm going to read this so I don't get it wrong. He has reached 949 career points to pass Michel Goulet at 946 points for 3rd place on the Avalanche or the Avalanche and Quebec Nordiques all-time list. We already knew that he was an all-time great in this game already, but these points that he's racking up is just proving it night in and night out. A couple other Avalanche players that have had good nights. Arturi Lehkonen, he also scored twice. Mikko Rantanen had 3 assists for the Avalanche, and they have won 4 of their last 5 games as well. Amazing team. Like we said in a couple videos ago, the Avalanche have been moving goalies around like crazy lately. Mackenzie Blackwood was acquired from the San Jose Sharks this week on Monday. He made his debut tonight, making 38 saves in the win. UC Saros was on the other end of the ice for the Predators tonight. He made 29 saves, but the Predators fall to 8-17 and 6, lost 9 of their past 10 games. They are horrible for absolutely no reason. They have one of the best goalies in the league. They have all-star talent up front. They are a little weaker on the back end. They should be so much better than what they have been doing. It did get a little dicey for the Avalanche in this one. Stamkos and Evangelista scored for the Predators to make it 3-1 and then 3-2 consecutively. But in the long run, the Avalanche did not sweat at all. They easily cruised to this victory. Lehkonen and MacKinnon, their second goals of the game were both on the empty net to put the nail in the coffin. I know that's my go-to phrase, but I can't think of a better one. It ended the game, gave the Predators no hope of ever coming back in this game. Predators lose to the Avalanche in the Mile High City tonight. We're going to Cali, where the San Jose Sharks faced off against the Utah Hockey Club. Unfortunately for Cali and the San Jose Sharks, they fell very late in this game to the Utah Hockey Club. It was Clayton Keller with 44 seconds left in the 3rd period who just ripped it right past their goalie. It was an amazing shot and an absolute heartbreaker for the San Jose Sharks team. Utah won 4-3 in this one. Nick Schmaltz was one of the highlights of this game for the Utah Hockey Club. Logan Cooley and Mikhail Sergachev each added 2 assists for Utah, who improved their record to 14, 11, and 5. The Utahns, they extended their point streak to 5 games. They are on a very good run right now, which they need to stay in the playoff picture. Karel Vejmelka, he made 19 saves in this game. The Sharks, they dropped to 11, 17, and 5. They've lost 4 of their last 5. Vitek Vanacek, he made 26 saves in this game. Fabian Zetterlund, he had a goal and an assist. The Sharks, unfortunately, they were up 3-2 in this game, but Marco Carconi, he scored the tying goal 3-3 about halfway through the 3rd period when he made a beautiful tip-in from Kevin Stenlund, another player that I've mentioned before that should be in the Four Nations faceoff but isn't. Dylan Genther, he also adds another goal to his season. He has 13 on the season, and yeah, I really like this player. He in the World Juniors is when I first noticed him playing for Canada, and yeah, he is an absolute stud and will be a massive star in this league for many, many years to come. Utah beat the San Jose Sharks 4-3 in San Jose. We go to Vancouver, where the Boston Bruins laid a beat down on the Vancouver Canucks. Pasternak had a great game, unfortunately, because somehow my fantasy team didn't save and he was on my bench. Well, he had a goal and 3 assists, 4 points. Breathe, Nick. There's no chance you're going to win. It also included his 400th point in the NHL for the Boston Bruins, 5-1 win for the Bruins over the Canucks in Vancouver tonight. The other standout player for the Boston Bruins tonight was Pavel Zacha with a goal and 2 assists. Jeremy Swayman, he made 19 saves in the effort for the Bruins, improving their record to 16, 13, and 3. This was a good bounce back game for the Bruins as they had lost their last 2 games with a combined score of 13-2. Horrible way to start your road trip, but this is a very good way to get that road trip back on track with playing against a very good team of the Vancouver Canucks. The Bruins also improved their record to 8-4-0 under their interim coach Joe Sacco. Jim Montgomery got sacked a couple weeks ago, maybe it was even a month ago, but Sacco comes in and they've been pretty good under him. Other goal scorers for the Boston Bruins, we have Geeky, we have Zacha, we have Marchand, we have McLaughlin, and Pasternak, like I mentioned before. Marchand, he scored the first goal of the game, and as much as I hate him, I mentioned this in one of my first videos, as much as I hate him, I would absolutely love him on my team. He is a rat, but he would be an absolute amazing addition to any team. Any team would have him as much as they do hate him. He was being booed nonstop, constantly. Every time he touched the puck, even sometimes when he wasn't touching the puck and he was just on the ice, he was getting booed like crazy. So he scored the first goal of the game and just gave him the, what do you have now? He gave him, oh, I can't hear you now kind of thing. For the Vancouver Canucks, the only bright spot in this game was Max Saison. He scored his first NHL goal in his 10th career game. Demko, he made 24 saves tonight for the Canucks. They dropped to 15, 9, and 5, and they've only won once in the past 4 games. So they're on a bit of a slide, but they're the type of team that can make that easy bounce back and get right back on track. Bruins beat the Canucks 5-1 in Vancouver tonight. We stay on the West Coast in Seattle where the Lightning and the Kraken faced off. It was a very convincing win for the Lightning, winning 5-1. In Climate Pledge Arena. Brandon Hagel had another amazing game after their absolute beatdown in Calgary on the other day. The Lightning's big stars came out to play too as well. Braden Point, Jake Gensel, each had a goal and an assist. Nikita Kucherov also had 2 assists for the Lightning. All 4 of these players staying absolutely red hot. They laid a beatdown on Calgary, like I just said, then they went down to Seattle and absolutely laid another beatdown on the Kraken. Jonas Johansson, the backup, he got the game tonight, getting the win. The Lightning have won 4 of their last 5, improving to 16, 10, and 2. Brandon Montour, he was the only goal scorer for the Kraken tonight, getting the first goal of the game. So Seattle had that momentum at home, but absolutely squandered it, unfortunately. His goal came on the power play early from Shane Wright, who's also having a very good start to the season. Philip Grubauer, his woes continue. It seems like ever since he won the cup many years ago, his career has just gone haywire. I don't know. It's almost, ever since he went to Seattle, he's gone downhill big time, and it's just so unfortunate because he had that much promise after winning the cup. Hagel's second goal of the night was the empty netter. The dagger is what I'm going to say for this one. It was the dagger for the Kraken. No chance of them coming back. Another bright spot for the Lightning in tonight's game was Declan Carlisle. He scored his first NHL goal tonight, sneaking the puck right under Grubauer's glove. Congrats to him. The Lightning, they beat the Kraken 5-1 in Seattle. Last but certainly not least, we have my hometown team, the Calgary Flames, beating the Florida Panthers 3-0 at home at the Saddledome. The main highlight of the game tonight was the rookie goalie, Dustin Wolf, getting the shutout tonight. It's the second of the season for him and the second of his career. Amazing job for him this season so far. Vladar had been getting a couple of the past starts, and it was starting to confuse me. I mentioned that in the last video. Vladar had been getting a couple of the starts lately for the Flames, and I mentioned it in my last video where I was confused why he was getting the starts, and then he laid that absolute egg against the Lightning the other night. But here we are. Wolf gets the shutout. Devin Cooley got called up because apparently Vladar's hurt. My emotions would be hurt too if I got scored on that many times against the Lightning. Michael Backlund got a goal and assist tonight. Nazem Kadri and Blake Coleman also scored tonight, who improved to 15, 11, and 5. They've won 2 of their last 3 after previously not doing very good on their away trip. The Saddledome this season has been a fortress for the Flames this year, but they need to figure it out on the road or else they won't be doing much this year. Kadri's goal tonight was absolutely amazing. It was the maximum effort from him and Pospisil, creating the turnover. Kadri takes the puck on the breakaway, absolute dangles the jockstrap off of Spencer Knight. Backlund, it was his first goal in 15 games. It came after Wolf made an amazing save off former Flame Sam Bennett on the breakaway. Spencer Knight, the goalie for the Florida Panthers. He made 24 saves. They dropped to 18, 11, and 2, which helps the Leafs actually because they lost tonight too. The Leafs stay first in their division because the Panthers, unfortunately, didn't win tonight either. They have been shut out in back-to-back games after winning 3 straight. Alexander Barkov, he also did not play tonight. He was a late scratch, which was also a killer for my fantasy team. He is apparently out with an illness. The Flames, they win 3-0 at home at the Saddledome tonight against the Stanley Cup champions Florida Panthers. Dustin Wolf, amazing effort, gets the shutout. Well, there you have it. 15 games tonight, all covered for you. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for being here. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see you tomorrow night.